If you're retired or living on a fixed income, every single shopping trip matters more than ever. And there's one place that can either quietly protect your money or slowly drain it without you even realizing: Costco. It looks like a savings paradise. Giant packs, famous $4.99 rotisserie chicken, cheap prescription glasses, rows of Kirkland products everywhere. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of those items are absolute gold for seniors. Others can quietly cost you hundreds of dollars a year if you don't know what you're doing. This is the Costco checklist every senior needs to see before their next visit. Let's start with something most people walk past without a second thought: the vitamin aisle. And for many seniors, daily vitamins and supplements are just part of life. Multivitamin here, vitamin D there, maybe omega-3s for the heart, something for the joints, something for energy. Walk into a regular pharmacy and you'll see the prices first. Tiny bottles, huge numbers on the tags. That's because brand name supplements are often sold with massive markups. Costco's Kirkland signature vitamins and supplements quietly flip that script. What most people don't realize is that a lot of these Kirkland bottles are made in the same kinds of facilities under the same strict standards as the name brands sitting right next to them in other stores. You're not getting some random discount bin product. You're getting large bottles of high-quality supplements that are third-party tested to make sure what's on the label is actually inside. For seniors, this matters a lot. Vitamin D to support bones, omega-3s for heart health, CoQ10 for energy, collagen for skin and joints. Instead of paying pharmacy prices for tiny bottles that run out fast, Kirkland gives you big containers that last for months. That means fewer trips to the store and much lower cost per tablet. In many cases, you're looking at 50 to 70% less than what you'd pay at a big chain drugstore. Over a year, that's not just a small discount, that's serious money saved on something you're taking every single day. Of course, no supplement should replace real medical advice. It's still important to talk to your doctor about what you actually need. But once you know your essentials, the Kirkland vitamin aisle can be one of the smartest stops in the entire store. And as helpful as those little tablets are, the real budget battles start in the pantry staples. Rice is one of those foods people barely think about. Why, yes, it's just there. In the background, a side dish, a base for meals, something cheap to fill the plate. But for seniors trying to stretch a fixed income, rice can quietly become one of the most powerful tools for staying full, eating healthier, and keeping food costs predictable. Costco's Kirkland signature organic rice is exactly that kind of quiet powerhouse. Instead of tiny expensive bags from boutique grocery stores, you get 12 to 25 pound bags at a price that often undercuts organic rice at places like Whole Foods or other high-end markets by 20 to 30%. And this isn't low-grade rice that falls apart in the pot. It's organically grown, free from synthetic pesticides, and comes in options like jasmine, brown, or whole grain blends. Cook it right, and each grain turns out fluffy, slightly chewy, and aromatic. For seniors, that means a stable, easy-to-digest base you can pair with vegetables, fish, chicken, or beans. And here's where the real savings kick in. When bought in bulk and stored properly in airtight containers, that one big bag can cover meal after meal after meal. If you live alone or as a couple, it might feel like too much, but it actually becomes a simple way to stabilize your grocery budget. Instead of wondering what to eat, you always have a solid foundation ready. But a bowl of rice isn't comforting on its own when the weather turns cold or energy runs low. That's where the next item becomes either a quiet hero or a health trap. On a chilly evening, nothing feels as comforting as a warm bowl of soup. For many seniors, soup is the perfect meal. Soft, easy to digest, and quick to prepare. The problem is what most canned soups are hiding. Flip the label and you'll often see sodium levels that blow past daily recommendations in a single serving. That extra salt might not seem like much in the moment, but over time, it's bad news for blood pressure, heart health, and overall well-being. Costco's Kirkland signature low-sodium soups take a different path. Instead of loading the can with salt to force flavor, they lean on actual ingredients and slower cooking to build taste. Chicken, lentils, vegetables, the recipes are built to be hearty without feeling heavy. No need to dilute with extra water or fuss in the kitchen. You open the can, heat it up, and in a few minutes you've got a complete meal. For seniors living alone or for anyone who doesn't want to stand over a stove for long, this is exactly the kind of thing that keeps you eating well instead of skipping meals or reaching for pricey takeout. The price per serving also stays impressively low, especially when you buy a full case. You're often paying less than you would for a single fast food item, but getting a meal that actually supports your health. Simple, warm, and ready when you are. But while soup is easy to talk about, the next category is something a lot of people avoid bringing up, even though it hits their wallets every single month. Adult diapers are one of those products everyone knows exist, but nobody wants to discuss. For many seniors, though, they're not optional. They're part of daily living. Walk into a typical pharmacy and you'll see the prices right away. Small packs, big costs. Over time, that quiet line on the receipt becomes a serious monthly bill. Costco's Kirkland signature adult diapers are designed to take some of that financial and emotional pressure off. Instead of stiff, noisy, plastic-feeling products that make you constantly aware of what you're wearing, Kirkland's design focuses on softness, breathability, and real comfort. The material is gentle and flexible, shaped to fit close to the body without drawing attention. Under clothing, they're discreet and low profile. Inside, the absorbent core pulls in moisture quickly and locks it away, helping you stay dry and confident throughout the day. For seniors who worry about leaks, smells, or embarrassment in public, that kind of performance matters more than any brand name on the package. Then there's the price. Compared to well-known national brands, Kirkland adult diapers can come in at 40 to 50% less per piece. When you're buying them regularly, that difference adds up fast. Buying in bulk at Costco means fewer emergency runs to the store, more stability in your budget, and more peace of mind. It's not a glamorous product, but it directly affects independence and dignity. And once those daily basics are under control, another essential sense moves into focus: hearing. If you've ever looked into hearing aids, you already know how shocking the numbers can be. $4,000, $5,000, even $6,000 or more for a single pair, once fittings, adjustments, and extra services get added in. For a senior living on retirement savings or a pension, that's not just expensive. That can feel completely out of reach. Costco's Kirkland signature hearing aids aim right at that problem. Instead of luxury pricing, they come in at a small fraction of the usual cost, around the mid-thousand range for a full pair. And they don't look or feel like clunky, outdated devices from decades ago. These are modern, compact units built with technology from major audio manufacturers. They come with features people actually want today: Bluetooth connectivity, so you can wirelessly connect to your phone or television, customizable settings so you can hear clearly in different noise environments, and sound profiles fine-tuned by hearing specialists at the Costco Hearing Center. One of the biggest advantages is the support that comes with the purchase. Seniors can get hearing tests, fittings, and adjustments packaged into the experience instead of being nickeled and dimed at each step. On top of that, there's a generous trial period with a full refund option, letting you test them in real life. At home, outside, talking to family, watching TV. If they don't work for you, you're not stuck with an expensive mistake. When your ears are finally taken care of, the next issue hits just as hard: your eyes. Anyone who wears glasses knows that a simple pair of frames can suddenly turn into a full-blown expense the moment you walk into a traditional optical shop. Frames are priced like fashion items. Lenses come with layer after layer of upsells: anti-glare, blue light filtering, UV protection, scratch resistance, progressive designs. Each add-on pushes the total higher. For seniors whose prescriptions change more often, this cycle can feel endless. Costco's optical department offers a quieter alternative. On the surface, it looks simple. Familiar brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, and others hang under bright lights next to Kirkland's own frames. The surprise comes when you see the full price. Frames and lenses together often end up costing around half of what you'd pay at many dedicated optical stores. The lens quality is no joke either. Lightweight materials, solid coatings, and reliable construction help glasses last longer without feeling heavy on the nose or ears. For seniors who wear them from the moment they wake up until they fall asleep, that comfort adds up. What makes the experience stand out is how straightforward it is. Prices are clearly listed, add-ons are explained, and there's no sense that you're about to be hit with a surprise total at the end. If you've ever felt that sting picking up glasses at a small optical boutique, the difference at Costco is obvious. Clear sight, calmer bill, and once you can see better and hear better, the next daily ritual comes into focus: coffee. For many people, the day doesn't truly begin until that first sip. But those quick stops at chain coffee shops, especially if it's a daily habit, slowly turn into a hidden monthly bill: $5 here, $6 there, a pastry on the side. By the end of the month, the total is easy to underestimate. Costco's Kirkland signature coffee, offers a way out of that pattern without sacrificing the joy of a good cup. Big bags in the 2.5 to 3 pound range can yield over 100 cups of coffee at home. Measured out per cup, the cost drops to mere cents instead of dollars. That's the difference between a luxury and a routine that fits comfortably into a fixed income. The beans themselves are not a downgrade. Some lines are roasted in the same facilities that handle major coffeehouse brands, following similar standards. The result is a brew that feels familiar, rich, and satisfying without burning through your budget. Options range from bold, dark roasts for those who like intensity, to lighter blends that are smoother and easier on the stomach. For seniors who are sensitive to acidity, that smoothness can be the difference between enjoying coffee daily and having to skip it altogether. A quiet change in where you get your beans can reclaim a surprising amount of money over time. And while coffee might start your day, the oil you cook with shapes almost every meal. Olive oil has a reputation, small glass bottles lined up like trophies on store shelves, each one priced like a special treat. For seniors trying to eat healthier, the advice is everywhere. Use more extra virgin olive oil, especially for heart health. But paying premium prices for tiny bottles adds up fast. Costco's Kirkland Signature Organic Olive Oil cuts right through that. Instead of a small decorative bottle, you get a large practical container of cold-pressed USDA organic oil at about half the price of many fancy brands. Yet the flavor and quality hold their own against much more expensive competitors. The oil has that golden green glow, a gentle aroma, and a smooth, slightly peppery taste that good olive oil is known for. Use it over salads, to saute vegetables, to roast potatoes, to marinate fish, or even in baking. It can handle everyday cooking while still delivering the health benefits that make olive oil such a staple in Mediterranean diets. Lowering bad cholesterol, supporting heart function, and reducing certain types of inflammation are all linked to regular use of high-quality olive oil in place of cheaper, heavily processed frying oils. For seniors, that one swap can quietly shift both health and budget in the right direction. What you pour in your food matters. And speaking of food, there's one item in the refrigerated section that keeps finding its way into returning shoppers' carts for a reason. Greek yogurt has gone from niche product to supermarket star over the last decade, but that popularity had a price. Small cups with fancy labels, premium pricing, and a lot of marketing attached. Costco's Kirkland Signature Organic Greek Yogurt skips the show and focuses on substance. It comes in large tubs that might look overwhelming at first glance, but inside, you get thick, creamy yogurt made from organic milk, free from growth hormones and unnecessary fillers. No watered-down texture, no chalky aftertaste. Just a smooth, mildly tangy base that works plain with fruit or even in cooking. Each serving is packed with protein, typically in the mid-teens in grams, which is a big deal for seniors who may not feel like eating large portions of meat. Protein helps maintain muscle, supports recovery, and keeps you fuller for longer. When you compare the price per ounce to popular Greek yogurt brands at regular supermarkets, the savings are obvious. Often, the large container at Costco runs about half the cost of buying equivalent small cups elsewhere. To avoid waste, you can portion servings into smaller containers for the week, add fruit or nuts, and have ready-to-go snacks or light meals. It's an easy way to keep nutrition high without pushing your spending to match the marketing. And while food fuels the day, nothing affects overall well-being quite like how you sleep at night. A lot of seniors quietly fight the same battle, waking up sore, stiff, and unrested. Often, the mattress is older than anyone wants to admit, sagging in the center, too hard in some spots, too soft in others. High-end mattress stores make upgrading feel like a luxury purchase with showroom prices that can easily cross into the thousands. Costco's Kirkland Signature Memory Foam mattress offers another route. Certified foam, designed to contour to the body's curves, redistributes pressure away from key points like shoulders, hips, and lower back. Instead of waking up with sharp pressure pain, many users report feeling more supported and evenly cushioned. Cooling gel built into the foam keeps heat from building up, which is especially important for older adults who are sensitive to temperature changes at night. The outer cover is soft, removable, and washable, making it easier to keep things clean and hypoallergenic. The biggest difference, though, is the cost. You get features comparable to what high-end stores boast about at a price that usually lands around half of those showroom tags, backed by a solid multi-year warranty. For seniors who spend more time at home and rely on good sleep to manage health conditions, this is not just another purchase. It's a foundation for better days, and better sleep pairs perfectly with better food, especially when that food is one of the strongest allies your heart and brain can have. Salmon is often called a superfood for good reason. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, packed with protein and easier to digest than many red meats, it checks box after box for seniors focused on staying healthy. But not all salmon is created equal. Farm-raised options can be higher in certain fats and lower in key nutrients, and they often come with a high price tag anyway. Costco's wild-caught salmon, sourced from cold waters, offers an attractive alternative. The flesh is firmer, the color more vibrant, and the taste cleaner compared to many farmed varieties. You'll find it both fresh and frozen. Often pre-portioned into fillets that make cooking for one or two extremely simple. Toss a piece in a pan with some olive oil, roast it in the oven with herbs, or flake it into a salad. The preparation doesn't have to be complicated. Compared to prices at many mainstream supermarkets, the per-pound cost at Costco often comes in 20 to 30% lower for salmon of similar or better quality. For seniors, it's a way to enjoy restaurant-level protein at home with all the health benefits and none of the markup. That salmon pairs naturally with another Costco strength, the organic produce section that many people walk through without realizing what it's actually doing for their budget. Step into the organic produce area and you'll see big bags of greens, cartons of berries, trays of tomatoes, heads of broccoli, all at sizes that might look more suited to big families than to retirees. But here's what matters: Costco's fast turnover. Because the store moves so much volume, produce typically doesn't sit around for long. That means what you're buying is fresher than what quietly aged for days in the back of a smaller store. Everything carrying that organic label has met strict standards, cutting down on pesticide exposure and synthetic additives. The prices tell another story. A large box of organic salad mix or a big container of strawberries or blueberries often costs 30 to 40% less per unit than similar products at mainstream supermarkets. For seniors, the key is to be strategic. Don't just throw big packs into the cart and hope for the best. Prep and portion at home. Wash, dry, and divide greens into airtight containers. Freeze part of the fruit for smoothies. Share with family or neighbors if needed, handle it right, and that big box becomes a week of salads, snacks, and sides for a fraction of the usual cost. Once you start seeing produce this way, as a planned investment instead of a gamble, the savings start to become very real. And there's one more jar that multiplies value in ways most people never expect. Kirkland's organic coconut oil is the definition of multi-purpose. At first, it looks like just another giant jar on the shelf, but inside is a cold-pressed, unrefined oil that keeps much of the natural aroma and smooth texture of real coconut. In the kitchen, it steps in for butter or standard cooking oils in everything from stir-fries and baking to light frying. Its relatively high smoke point means your food develops a rich flavor without burning as quickly. The gentle coconut scent doesn't overpower dishes. Instead, it adds a subtle warmth. Beyond food, some seniors use coconut oil as a simple moisturizer for dry skin, a hair conditioner, or a base for basic home remedies. One jar, multiple uses, long-lasting. When you compare the price of that large Kirkland container to smaller jars of organic coconut oil in regular grocery stores, the difference is stark. You're often paying about half as much for far more product. It's the kind of purchase that quietly works its way into multiple parts of your daily life, each time saving you from buying a separate, more expensive product elsewhere. And then there's the least glamorous, but most relentless line item in everyone's home: toilet paper. Toilet paper doesn't look expensive, a few dollars here, a few there. But add it up over a year, and it becomes one of the silent repeat purchases you can't avoid. Costco's Kirkland Signature Bath Tissue is one of those cult favorites for a reason. It delivers soft, 3-ply comfort without disintegrating in your hand, yet it doesn't carry the premium price tag of top national brands. The rolls are large, the packs are huge, and the per-roll cost drops well below what most supermarkets charge. For seniors, that means fewer heavy shopping trips, fewer moments of realizing you're down to the last roll, and a steady, predictable cost. The quality matters too, especially for those with sensitive skin or medical conditions that require gentle products. Thick, low dust, and strong tissue reduces irritation, and when it costs far less than the brand everyone recognizes from commercials, there's not much reason to pay more. Of course, even with all the essentials covered, there are still moments when you just need something quick and satisfying between meals. Protein and fiber bars are everywhere these days, but the math usually doesn't favor the shopper. $2 to $3 for a single bar at many convenience stores and supermarkets, often packed with sugar and strange aftertastes. Costco's Kirkland Signature Protein and Fiber Bars change that equation. Inside each wrapper, you get a carefully balanced mix of protein, fiber, and controlled sugar that keeps you full longer than a typical cookie or snack. Flavors rotate between chocolate-forward options and nutty combinations designed to actually taste good instead of like medicine. When you break down the cost per bar inside a Costco box, it often lands around $1 or less. For seniors, that means a ready-to-go mini meal you can toss into a bag, keep in the car, or store next to the bed. Missed breakfast? Grab a bar. Need something between lunch and dinner so you don't overspend at a cafe? Grab a bar. It's a simple backup plan that prevents both hunger and impulse spending. And when you zoom out and look at all of these items together, a pattern starts to appear. Costco isn't just a warehouse full of bulk goods. For seniors, it can be a quiet survival tool in a world where prices keep creeping upward. Vitamins that don't break the bank, rice and soup that turn into countless affordable meals, products that protect dignity like adult diapers and hearing aids without forcing you into impossible bills, glasses, coffee, oil, yogurt, salmon, produce, mattresses, snacks. Each one of these, chosen carefully, nudges your monthly costs lower, while often raising your quality of life. The danger comes when you walk in without a plan. Grabbing whatever looks interesting, buying more fresh produce than you can finish, skipping the real value items, and loading up on impulse buys. That's how a membership meant to save you money quietly does the opposite. But when you understand which products consistently deliver quality, long-term savings, and real health benefits, Costco becomes something else entirely. It becomes a tool for living smarter on a fixed income. For seniors, that's the real secret. It's not just about cutting costs for the sake of it. It's about protecting independence, eating well, sleeping better, retiros, and avoiding needless stress every time you open a bill or walk down a store aisle. The next time you head to Costco, think of this list. Look past the flashy displays and seasonal temptations and go straight for the items that truly earn their place in your cart. Your future self and your future bank balance will quietly thank you. And if this breakdown helps you or someone you care about, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, save it, and follow along for more practical money-saving guides designed with seniors in mind.